Hey guys, Joseph Henson here with Henson CPA Group, and this week we are going to go through some more information over cash flow. Last week we talked about it. We've talked about the income statement, the balance sheet, how just because you have good net income doesn't always mean you have money in the bank. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about maximizing your veterinary clinic's cash flow. Again, I'm Joseph Henson with Henson CPA Group. Thank you guys for joining me, and we're just going to jump right in. So, why cash flow is king? Profit matters, but cash keeps the doors open. You can have all the profit in the world. If you don't have cash in the bank, your doors will close. Your employees will leave because you can't pay them. You won't be able to keep the lights on. You won't be able to keep your supplies stocked. Profit matters, but cash keeps the doors open. A healthy cash flow equals the ability to pay staff, invest in equipment, and sleep at night. I know a lot of folks that they stress over the fact that, hey, I don't have a lot of cash on hand. How do I do this? Well, that's where this all really stems from. So today, we're going to show you how to protect and improve yours. What impacts cash flow the most? There's several things, but some of the most important things are the timing of income and expenses. Joseph, what do you mean by that? So you have income coming in, and in addition to that income coming in, you have expenses you have to pay. You want cash to come in quicker, and income you want to, or your expenses, you want to keep that longer. So if you can have your customers, your patients pay you day of and defer expenses for 15 days, 30 days, you keep cash on hand. That goes right into inventory and supply management. You need the right inventory on hand. You need to make sure that you know just in time. Does that work for you? Does have stockpile work? What's your waste looking like? These are all items you need to know. Owner distributions and debt payments. If you as an owner are taking out any income left in the clinic, you will see that you are dry in the bank. This doesn't show up on your income statement. You can have $1 million in income. If you take out $999,000 for owner distributions, you have a dollar in the bank. It's not a lot. Debt payments. This is another item that really affects cash flow because the only thing you're seeing, if you're doing it correctly on the income statement, is the interest expense. The rest of it, say it's $1,000 payment, $900 goes to the principal, which is on the balance sheet. You only see that there. So on your income statement, you have $100 in expenses. That's the only portion. So you had a $900 non-income statement effect and a $100 income statement effect. Revenue, consistency, and pricing. You can't be losing money. You also, though, need to make sure the revenue you're generating is worth your time. If you have a lot of low-level things that take too much time, but they don't generate enough revenue for you, it might be time to look at either pricing that better or doing away with some of that altogether. Step one, we're going to have several steps on how to improve your cash flow. Step one is going to be stabilize incoming cash. You need to implement consistent client billing policies. What do I mean by that? You can't afford to have someone come in and owe you $200, but they're not paying today. Great. They say, hey, just bill me, I'll get you paid. Well, they come in 45 days for they had an emergency with their dog. They still haven't paid you. Hey, just bill me, I'll get you paid. I promise. My taxes are coming in. Well, great. Now that's $800. They now owe you $1,000. Who knows if and when you're going to collect it? So implementing a consistent client billing policy will help fix that. If someone owes you money, maybe the policy is, I can't help you if you don't pay the outstanding balance. In addition to that, you need to start utilizing deposits for surgeries, boarding, and big ticket purchases. If you're doing a surgery and someone gives a quote up front, $1,500, hey, great, I need $300 up front, 20% down, to make sure that they are going to be financially committed to paying you and getting that done so you have less cancellations. Boarding. It's okay to pay in advance. You know what's going to cost you. you can have that requested. And big ticket services, anything large, especially if you are a farm vet and you're going to make sure that you're going out to their farm, you're going to take care of all their cattle, make sure you're getting some sort of deposit. Something you can do is offer a prepayment or wellness plans to create predictable revenue. What do I mean by this? A prepayment or wellness plan is basically saying yearly, this is what you're going to pay. But instead of paying it all when it's due, say it's $500, say it's $600 because it's very simple math. They're going to pay you $50 every month, every year. So you're going to spread out that $600 in revenue that they might pay in June typically throughout the whole year. It helps with your cash flow. And it's also going to have a little bit of deferred revenue on books. Not a big deal. Not a you problem typically as your accountant's problem. If you're my client, that's a me problem. But it's something you can start doing. Step 2, control your outgoing cash. Make sure you're reviewing vendor pricing annually. Prices go up. If their prices are going up, but you're still charging the same amount, you're losing money. You're making less money this year. You want to review this, and you want to avoid over ordering supplies. Having waste on hand because you couldn't go through the medication in time before it expired, or you realize, hey, this is just sitting here. I spent $10,000 on this. I moved $2,000 of it. That means $8,000 is sitting on your balance sheet that you're not seeing on your income statement. And you no longer have that cash for growth opportunities, bonuses, owner distributions. Schedule your debt payments in line with expected income. So what do I mean by that? If you know you have a large amount of debt and it's coming due, you want to make sure that your expected income is enough to cover that debt. You don't want to just leave it up to chance. If your mortgage is due on the 20th of every month and you know that you have a lot of income coming in at that time, see what you can move around to help cover that debt. And don't drain cash with large lump sum draws. If you find yourself not having enough cash on hand as the owner of your clinic because you're not paying yourself enough, you need to do 2 things. 1, you need to pay yourself more. You need to have a reasonable compensation, especially if you are an owner of an S corporation. But otherwise, you need to make sure that what you are paying yourself can help you survive, where you don't have large unexpected draws coming out. If you need to, and you say, I need an extra 10 grand a month, so I take out $60,000 in June, and I take out another 60 in December. Spread that out, $10,000 per month. I know I'm throwing out random numbers. It works. Step 3, improve operational efficiency. I've talked on this before. You need to reduce appointment no-shows and cancellations. Does this mean you have a card on file and people know if they cancel within 24 hours, they're going to be charged X dollars for a cancellation or a no-show? It's something to start considering. A lot of medical doctors do it. A lot of veterinarians can do it as well. Ensure your team is scheduled based on peak demand. If you know most of your busy times are from 12 to 3 in the afternoon for surgeries and you need a little extra coverage, shift someone up who would take it, or hey, go to your lunch an hour early. This is the time I really need folks here for reception, for an extra vet tech. But you want to make sure your team is scheduled around that peak time to make sure you have plenty of coverage and people aren't having too long of waits. One thing you always need to be doing is tracking the revenue per DVM to ensure productivity aligns with payroll. They should be making you anywhere from 4 to 6x what the cost is. So if you pay someone $100,000, they should bring in revenue of $400,000 to $600,000. That's not a hard and fast rule, but it is about what you should see. Step 4, build a cash reserve. You want to target 1 to 2 months of operating expenses. If you are a solo doctor and you have 5 support staff, whether that's reception, vet techs, a small marketing team, whatever it is, you need 1 to 2 months of operating expenses. If you get hit by a bus tomorrow and you're out of work for 2 months, do you have enough cash on hand to at least continue paying your bills and paying your employees? It's something to consider. That can be overwhelming, so you should start small. Aim for 1 payroll cycle in reserves. If your average payroll run is $15,000, Just get that in there, and you can build up from there. And you should use a separate saving account to prevent accidental spending. And what I mean by that is every month, you're going to take out X dollars to put into another account as a rainy day fund. If you do this in your personal life, you know how much that really helps you because it allows you to focus on the other portions of your life besides just stressing about money coming in. Common cash flow killers in vet clinics. These are some of the biggest ones I've seen. One is relying on credit cards for operating expenses. But I get credit card points, but I get airline mileage, but I get cash back. Yeah, great. If you're one of the people who are able to pay that off monthly and not carry debt. Because if you're not one of those folks, you shouldn't be using a credit card. It's going to rack up faster than you can handle, and it's going to hurt. Taking large owner draws during tight months. If you know that November, December are very lean months because, hey, it's Christmas, you should not be taking cash draws during those months. You need to have some seasonality involved in this, and looking at your clinic's expenses and income by month will help you decide when that is. Skipping forecasting or planning. If you're not forecasting, if you're not planning, and that means with a budget, then you are already failing and falling behind. It's just what it is. It's never fun. It's not fun to tell my clients, hey, look, we got to get this going for you because you're going to be on a budget. You're going to be forecasting. We expect you to have 5% growth this year. We expect this. But looking at the whole picture is always something that's really good. And then not watching seasonal trends or revenue dips. Just mentioned this above because you want to make sure that what you're able to do is survive just a small bit if necessary. If you're not able to survive, you're not able to grow. Bonus tip. This is going to be forecast monthly cash flow. What will this do? This will allow you to look ahead at expected cash in and cash out. This helps you because you know if I typically earn $100,000 in this month, but I have $120,000 in expenses because I like to have a relief vet come in during this time so I can take off. Well, hey, maybe we need to shift this around and have a relief vet in a month that's not as lean. You want to flag large expenses like taxes, insurance, and equipment purchases. None of these are typically surprises. Unless you just have a machine break on you, your taxes aren't a surprise. Insurance payments, your unemployment insurance, your workman's comp insurance, your building insurance, those aren't surprises. They come out about the same time. Equipment is the only one that every now and then it breaks. Now, if it's an older piece of equipment, you should already be saving for a new piece. And adjust early. Don't just wait until cash is low. So this is a little bit what we help our clients with. We love to do monthly cash flow tracking and advisory. We look at it, we say, hey, here's what's been doing, and we use that to build a forecast that will support and help with cash planning. We're going to then make sure that we're benchmarking with your business to keep your cash health in check. We don't want you to dip below that 2-month reserve at a minimum. Then we also have tools that will visualize inflow and outflow trends. We want to see, bar graphs seem simple, but if you see that this blue bar, we'll say that your income is higher than the red bar, which is your outflow, you're going to be net positive for that month. You always want more net positive months than net negative months. So just a little bit of a recap, 4 steps to maximizing your cash flow. 1, stabilize incoming cash. We mentioned how to do that. One of that could be through a prepayment plan. One of that would be raising prices potentially. There's several steps. 2, control outgoing cash. This is going to be around your large ticket expenses. This is going to be around any sort of owner draws that you're making, but you want to control what's going out and when. 3, improve your operational efficiency. Don't let staff just sit there. That's wasted money. You want to make sure that you are planning around your peak times, whether that's annually or even just around daily. 4, build reserve and forecast regularly. The first one's never fun. It takes a lot of work. After that, it goes a lot quicker. So let's maximize yours. Let's make sure your cash flow is where it needs to be. It shouldn't be a mystery, and it shouldn't stress you guys out all that much. That's something we want to help take off your plate to make sure you're running efficiently. If you're ready to take control of your cash and grow with confidence, reach out, book a free discovery call. Our website is hensoncpagroup.com, or you can message us. You can email me. My email should be on the next screen for you, I believe. We're going to go ahead and go there and just see if I remember to put it there. I did not. It's Joseph, and you'll see Joseph is JOESEPH at hensoncpagroup.com. If you enjoyed this, tag a clinic owner who could use this information, send them our contact information. Otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Feel free to drop a comment